loves, and welcome back to my channel. I know that not everyone that watches my channel here is a mother, but I know so many of you are homemakers and partners and spouses. And so I want to share with you today some things that have really helped me over these last couple years to really embrace my role as a homemaker, to find fulfillment as a mother and a wife. Because believe it or not, there have been so many moments and so many months and so many periods of time in which I really didn't feel enough, or this divine role that I dreamed of and craved my whole life and worked so hard to have left me feeling depleted and isolated and alone in my feelings and in my thoughts. One of the reasons why I created this channel was to speak up and speak out about the topics, the hard topics about motherhood and homemaking, because I want you to know that you are not alone. If you struggle with feeling satisfied and fulfilled, I want you to know that it is completely normal and okay for you to feel the polarity of life, for you to not like certain things about your season, and for you to also find joy and contentment. It's okay and it's normal. And today I wanted to share with you 5 things specifically that I have shifted and changed in the last year or two that have really helped me turn a corner in motherhood and end my role as a homemaker. The first thing that I changed in my role as a homemaker was I stopped seeking things and I started seeking skills. I realized that a lot of my lack of fulfillment in my role as a mother was because I had to let go of so many things in order to transform in my role as a wife and a mother. Especially as a stay-at-home mom, I found myself really not understanding who I was anymore. I really struggled with answering the question of what am I interested in? What are my hobbies? Because all of the things that I used to do before I had kids or before I was a wife, before I was a homemaker, I no longer have the space and the time or the energy to do those things. Along with that, I started to feel really frustrated and insecure about the things that I couldn't do, that I wasn't efficient in. When I got those nudges, I started to seek answers. If something came about in my head, or there was a skill that I saw someone have or do that intrigued me, I Googled it. I looked it up on YouTube. I saw breadcrumbs of knowledge that could help move me forward in pursuit of the skill that I wanted to attain. And what ended up happening is that I started to feel I was actually getting somewhere. So many things that you see me do on this channel were once thoughts and things that I had no idea how to do. We all start with, I don't know, and I don't know where to start, and I don't know where to begin. I'm going to tell you a secret. The truth is you just start. The truth is you just use the knowledge that is at our fingertips and you just pursue it. The second thing that has brought me so much joy, so much happiness in this season is joining a book club. Now, I know you probably weren't expecting this, but one of the biggest things I realized that I struggled with being a stay-at-home mom, with being a wife to a lineman, with being in this weird transition of life where I wasn't who I used to be, but I wasn't quite sure who it was I was becoming, was loneliness. A feeling like no one truly got who I was. Like there weren't people that I could talk to about the things that I was going through. And so one of the things that I didn't even know I needed, but ended up being such a blessing in my life, was when I was invited to join a book club with other women that are my age in similar seasons of life, women that were not quite exactly where I was or were ahead of where I was. Having the diversity of women in my corner was such a breath of fresh air. to be exposed to other new things, new topics, new genres. Plus, it gave me something to look forward to in my days. Those little pockets of time where I normally would have turned on the television or scroll my phone, I started replacing those times and those moments with opening a book and reading. What ended up happening was it ended up reigniting a spark that I had for fantasy and imagination. It helped fuel my creativity while also nurturing my social life and broadening my horizons, getting me out of my comfort zone, creating new friendships and relationships that I didn't even know I needed. The third shift that I made in this last year especially was I started making it a point to have a standing social commitment every single month. Something on my calendar that I could look forward to, that got me out of the house, got me to try something new that I did just for me. Definitely something I would also put along with this is to make a point to get out at least once a month with your partner. Having that standing date night has been so vital to my husband and I's relationship. Making sure that we don't just let the busyness of the days pass us by without making intentional space and time for him and I to get out of the house, to be husband and wife again. Not just be in our roles of provider, of nurturer, of mother, of father, but to be there for each other has been so nurturing to my soul and to our relationship. The fourth thing that I will say is probably one of the most important things that I have had to revisit and come back to time and time again is creating rhythms you can live by. Something that I had to shift away from when I became a mother and a homemaker was to stop trying to keep a regimented schedule and instead flow with a rhythm. What I mean by that is the more that I kept myself to a strict structure of I had to have breakfast at a certain time, or I had to do my workout at a certain time of the day, get out of the house by this time, you name it, the more regimen that I put on myself, the more of a failure that I felt like. So what I started to do was I started to just focus on a daily rhythm. A rhythm of, okay, the first thing we do is I get up and I start breakfast. And then we move into some playtime. And then we move into going outside. The more that I could just kind of think of my days, having blocks in which we do certain things, the more I started to feel like I could breathe. It opened me up for that spontaneity and the flexibility of when things inevitably don't go as planned. Having this weekly rhythm really has brought me back to that sense of feeling of like I'm in control, that I'm leading my kids instead of letting them lead me, that life isn't overtaking me, but I am present in it, that I am active in it, and that I am taking charge of my own fulfillment, my own happiness. And the fifth and final thing that I feel like has been so vital for my fulfillment as a wife and a mother and a homemaker is if I crave it, I pursue it. If there's something on my heart that I really feel like I want to have more knowledge in, something I want to do, I pursue it. Even if it's in the tiniest way of typing it in Google, the more that I pursue the intuitive nudges that come to me, the more happiness I find, the more joy I feel, the more I realize how supported I am, how guided I am in this life. I am here because I was led here. I made decisions to be here. And the polarity that I feel is just guiding me, just the inventory and the guidance that is coming my way, trying to nudge me and guide me towards my path, towards my highest good. The more I lean into that, I find the happier I am. So my loves, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it inspired you. I hope that it brought you comfort. And I hope that you know that no matter where you are at, you are not alone in how you feel. You are not wrong. You are not broken. You are enough. And if there is something that you do not like, then you have